Hey guys, Jcc2224 here with another clone corner. This is a bit of an impromptu clone corner because, well, if you saw my last unboxing video, you know that I got a lot of 212ths. And I actually got all of my Revenge of the Sith Phase 2 212ths lined up in an army, and I just wanted to make a video about it because I need to redo the display I have them in anyway, and I just wanted to kind of get them out of that. And hey, why not do a good old classic J4 army lineup? Now, my clone 212th Army numbers at 30 troops, one of which being a custom that was sent to me by my good friend Jason, but all of the rest are official figures that were released. Of course, a lot of duplicates. They have not released 30 different 212th troopers. But I'm very happy with this army, very happy with this collection, and I just wanted to show it to you not only as a part of Clone Corner, but also as my first contribution to the Saga Collection Club. If you don't know Zubby, you should know Zubby. She is a very awesome YouTuber. She does a lot of craft videos where she's showing you how to do Iron Man blast effects for your Marvel Legends or make a bed for your Pikachu. That sounds cool, doesn't it? Yeah, head on over to her channel. She's got a lot of great stuff there, including definitely dinosaurs, which is one of her latest videos. She does a lot of random collections for the Zub Collection Club, where she invites anyone, literally anyone, to show off a focused collection in their grand toy collection, or even just their whole toy collection. Doesn't really matter. And you're also invited to go over to her channel and contribute to the Zub Collection Club. She does it monthly, so expect some sort of monthly contribution to the Zub Collection Club on this channel as well. I'm very excited to have my first contribution here. So this, my friends, my viewers, is my 212th Army. Oh man. I am so happy with this. I'm so happy with how it's turning out. I still want a few more. I would pretty much just like to make one more row of 3, and then I feel like I'd be done. I just want maybe a couple more regular 212ths, maybe another ATRT driver, and I think I'd be fine. I'm very impressed with how this army's turning out. And if you're wondering, if you've been familiar with a lot of my viewpoints on my collection, I tell myself I don't want to get duplicates of almost anything anymore. But 212th is an exception because, number one, it's a 212th. I mean, and number two, I want to build a Utapa diorama. And to do that, I need a lot of 212ths. And also, I'm probably going to need a few more battle droids, too. So I should probably be on the lookout for those as well. But this collection is very impressive. I'm very happy with how this looks. And I'm not only going to go over the grand look of it, but I'm also going to go over each individual figure, how I feel about it, in some cases what it even means to me. And we might as well start off all the way at the end there with the Airborne Troopers. What can I say about the 212th Airborne Troopers besides they're just badass? Look at them. They're just totally badass, totally amazing. I am quite the fan of this figure, of this design. Airbornes are just amazing. I really love their helmet design. I love all the different patches and gear on them. They really just look like they're made for not only combat, but also medical purposes, just multi-environment purposes. They look like a soldier. That's one problem I've kind of had with clone troopers and stormtroopers. They've just got this dinky little belt that we're supposed to assume has like grenades and medical packs and little food rations in it. But this guy looks like he has all that stuff. Not only does he have the belt, but he also has a big old pouch. He has little grenades strapped on him. He looks ready for combat. And this figure is amazing. Now, the thing is, before I got that unboxing previously, I only had 2 Airborne Troopers, one of which was broken at the wrist. It was repaired, though, thankfully, but I wasn't that careful with a lot of my clone troopers growing up. You can see some of them will be a little yellowed in this collection, but I did get a second one just because I was so butthurt that my first one broke. But now I have 6 of it, so it doesn't really matter at all. I'm very happy to have 6 of this thing. I'm not getting any more. I think 4 or 6 is a good number to have for Airborne Troopers if you're just going to build a little army. But if you're going all out, you can make, you could have 30 Airborne Troopers. Like I have 30 troopers in total here. But I really do like this one. Now let's move on to the Saga Collection 212th, which is very proudly the figure in my collection that I have the most duplicates of. I have 13 Saga Collection 212ths. I have 12 you can see here, and I also have one that is still on the card on my wall. Really, really love this figure. It's one of my childhood favorites, hands down. I actually had 6 of it growing up. I actually amassed an army of 6 when I was a kid. That's actually really rare for me. I always kind of got different toys, but whenever I saw a 212th Trooper, I think I even saw one at the grocery store once. I got it. If I saw it in the store, I got it. If I saw it at the flea market, again, I got it. And I got a neat little collection growing up, but with that recent package I just got, I'm up to 12 that are out of the package. 12 in my Army lineup here, which is double of what I had before. I don't know if you can see a little bit here, but some of my childhood ones, like this one, which is my very first Trooper, are a little more yellowed than my newer ones, which you can see right here. But getting closer in on this figure, it's so nicely detailed. This is, to me, the definitive 212th Trooper to buy. It is the best. And I think a lot of other people feel that way too, because it's a little hard to come by nowadays, I've noticed. It's not super easy to just acquire tons of. I actually got very lucky with the very generous seller. He was just unloading his collection, and he saw me. He saw that I like 212s in army building, and he gave me a pretty great deal on them. I'm very happy with the collection I got here, but I hope others that want to amass a 212th collection like this can hopefully find a good deal, because the eBay scalpers, or whatever you want to call them, the crazy secondhand market people, they're charging crazy prices for this thing sometimes. Sometimes it's fairly reasonable, which is, I pretty much got these guys for maybe about retail price. I'm not exactly sure, but a lot of people are trying to charge twice retail price for them, and that's just, for an army builder, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to build an army like that. Now, I do have one that is incomplete. You can probably see him back there. He doesn't have the antenna, and he's also missing a hand. I'm probably just going to weather him up. I'm probably going to bust out the shoe polish and give him a good old anti-shine, probably. This one right here, though, is my very first 212th Trooper, and the reason I can tell that is because it actually has a paint error on the helmet there. You can see this part of the helmet where it should have a black trim around that silver. The black just isn't there. It's just all silver. That's really cool. I really like that little identifier that that's my very first, and that will always be one of the most cherished figures in my collection. If there's heaven forbid I have to start selling off a lot of my collection and I have to get rid of almost all of these, he will not be one of them. Moving on over to some of the non-Saga Collection normal 212th Troopers, we have the Routine Valor Comic Pack Trooper, and you can see just poking his little head there is the Routine Valor Clone Lieutenant. The Clone Trooper is pretty much the same as the Saga Collection one, besides that he has a different deco that makes his orange markings more clean. He doesn't have any of the black scratches on his body. He is just, he's more of a shiny. He's more earlier on in the war, maybe right when they got their armor. Very, very cool looking figure. Very harder to get too. This is one of the harder 212ths to get, so you can't army build this guy like you can build, say, the Saga Collection one. This is maybe a one and done sort of figure. In the middle there, we have the TVC 212th, which is a pretty good figure. It does have a removable helmet, but one thing I've noticed, I don't know if you can tell on the camera here, the helmet is slightly yellowed. I noticed that a lot of these figures, even in the package, in the store when I saw them, the helmets were yellowed. Probably could be because of the very bright lights that stores use, or what. I have no idea, but the helmet is always slightly yellowed on these, almost every copy I've ever seen. And all the way in the back there we have the Legacy Collection Build-A-Droid, one from the Amazon exclusive wave. I don't really like it too much. It's using that really... It's a good body for Phase 1 troopers, but for Phase 2s, where they have the bigger, thicker helmets, it looks really skinny and scrawny, and the helmet is just so big. You can almost put that helmet over another helmet. I kind of want to try that. Here, the next trooper we have in the back there is the Mission Series 212th. It's just a crappy 5 POA figure, but he's got the smallest helmet out of all of them. Let's see if we can kind of... Yeah, it doesn't go on all the way, but that helmet's so big you can pretty much give a helmet a helmet. Oh wow, that's great. And look at how tiny that head is too. Why was the helmet made so large? That's absolutely ludicrous. Every video I show off this mold, I always have to complain about it because I just don't like it. Right in the middle there you can see the custom 212th Scout Trooper that was sent to me by Jason. I did customize it a little further. I gave it the deco of not only the normal 212th but also Commander Cody with that visor there. It's kind of an unofficial thing. It's not shown in any sort of canon or non-canon. It's just something that Jason came up with. And it's cool to have in the Army. I do think it's pretty neat, especially given how the 41st Elite had Scout Troopers as well. It's not the clone Scout Trooper armor, but then again, there was also that Saga Collection 41st Elite that was just the Imperial Scout Trooper painted up like the Republic one. It's an interesting thing. I really do like it. And it'll certainly look nice, say, on a 212th speeder bike or something. Right there is the 212th AT-RT driver. It's a really interesting figure. I really do like it. It came with a different armor piece where you can snap on a battle-damaged chest part. And for some reason, I always found it really weird. What's that phobia of dots and holes? I feel like maybe his chest armor would probably bother people with that, because for some reason they just gave him these 4 random dots. All the others just have the solid V shape, but he's got dots on it. I got no idea. Now we're moving on to the Shadow Utapa Troopers, and these guys are awesome. The 2 in the front there are true Shadow Utapa Troopers. They were released back in the Revenge of the Sith line. And what can I say except instead of white, they're black, and instead of orange, they're gray. And instead of the black visor, it's a red visor. What can I say except that looks absolutely awesome. And the one all the way in the back there is the JediCon exclusive. It is the antenna mold, but the deco is kind of different. And if you're really picky, you can see that the shoulder pad armor is printed differently. He's got slightly, I don't know if you can see from here, yeah, he's got slightly different knee pad deco. If you really are stingy, you can say, oh, that's not a 212th Shadow Utapa Trooper, that's just a normal Shadow Trooper. You can say that if you want, but come on, you know what it's supposed to be. And finally, we conclude with the 3 commanders. We have the Shadow Utapa Commander, which I think is really cool that there's actually a separate commander just for the Shadow Utapa division, or just the Shadow 212th division. I find that really cool. Commander Cody, of course, which is the clone marshal commander of the 212th Attack Battalion. And then we have the clone lieutenant, which is from the Routine Valor comic pack. And both the Shadow Utapa clone commander and the clone lieutenant share the same mold, but they have different camas or skirts. You can see this one has the one with the holsters, and actually has the Biker Scout pistols instead of the normal ones, which is really weird. And this one has the ARC Trooper Alpha torn up skirt, so that's pretty nice looking, and that one doesn't have the shoulder pauldron either. The Commander Cody is the Legacy Collection version. I feel the Legacy Collection and the Vintage Collection Codys are the definitive Codys, so if you got to get one Cody, I would say try to track that one down. The Legacy Collection one is errored. The belt is put on upside down, so the orange part of the belt should be on this side of the body, but is instead on that side of the body. It's not that big of an issue to me. It doesn't really bug me enough to get a loose TVC one to put on the Army instead of the Legacy Collection. But you can see the freaking visor. It's certainly doing its job in keeping the light out. That's what it was designed for, right? So there we go, guys. That has been my 212th Revenge of the Sith Phase 2 Realistic Army. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with how this looks. I'm very satisfied that I've actually gotten it to grow recently, because I've been looking everywhere for the Saga Collection 212th, trying to get some more of it, and no dice. But here we go. I've got 6 more of the normal Saga Collection. I got 4 more of the Airbornes. I'm really happy with this, and I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at not only this Clone Corner, but also my first contribution to the Zub Collection Club. Expect the next Zub Collection Club video to go up, well, sometime in February, I guess. There you go, guys. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my social medias if you have a chance. Have a good day, guys, and as always, may the Force be with you. Bye.
Mission accomplished, sir.